सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। नारायणं पद्मभवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्र पराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्द योगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तन्तोटकं वार्तिककारमण्याम् अस्मद्गुरुन् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। यत् साक्षात् सच्चिदानन्दं प्रत्यगद्वयमक्रियं तन्नमामि नृसिंहस्य योगिगम्यं परं पदम्। Further, so what यद्यपि सम्यक् ज्ञान उपादानं तथापि तस्य प्रमाणान्तरात् अपि उपपत्तेः. Although jnana is the basis for ajnana nasha, still there are other ways that you can get jnana, other means to moksha or other means to jnana also. Both can be considered here. So pramanantaradapi upapattehe, meaning even if you say jnana can take place by other means, which other means? Other than this grantha. Other than this grantha which deals with Vedanta Prakriya. So other than Vedanta also there can be Brahma Jnana. That may be the question there. So that may be a possibility, says the Purva Pakshi. That is the question there. Purva Pakshi says that there are other means to Samyak Jnana. Why do you need to create a grantha? Therefore, Vedanta Prakranadishu. Vedanta Prakranadishu, here you can take Vedanta Prakrana or Vedanta and Prakrana both. Itaretara Dvandva also you can take. So Vedanta and such Vedanta Prakarana Granthas. Because if you just say only Prakarana, then Upanishads are valid. That may be the question. Yes, they are valid, but they are very difficult. There is Adhikaritvam, who has Adhikara in studying Upanishad, etc. Therefore, Prakarana Granthas. So now in those Prakaranas also, why would anyone take interest? Because through other means, other than Vedanta and Prakarana, there can be Jnana Utpatti. Therefore, Tadarthina, Samyak Jnana Arthina, Kutaha Niyamena Pravrittir Ityataha Aha, Ashesha iti. So we saw this Ashesha Anartha Hetu Atma Anavoda Vishayasya. Vishayasya cha Anagamika Pratyakshadi Laukika Pramana Avishayatvat. So with the response you see, the Sangati has been given in the Tika to the line in the Mula which says that other than the Agama, Shruti, there is no Pramana, Pratyaksha, Ityadi, Adi. Pratyakshadi means Pratyaksha, Anumana. They are not Pramana, and Laukika Pramanas won't work in the case of that which can be revealed only by the Shruti. This we have seen in the last pata. And therefore what? Avishayatvat. Vedanta Agama Vakyadeva Samyak Jnanam. This Jnana can take place only due to Vedanta Vakya, Shabda Pramana. That has been the answer in the Mula. So Tika further says, Agamikam. What is Agamikam? So there he says, Agamikam means what? Agama Vakya Janyam. Agamika is Taddita. Born out of Agama. That which comes up only by study of Agama Shruti. Vakya Janyam what? Atma Sakshatkara Lakshanam Anumanancha Yat Pranena Praniti Yena Vapashyati Ityadyasti Tad Vishayatva Nirasa Ashanka Apanodaya Aha. So what does he say? The Agama alone is Pramana for the Shabda Pramana, for Samyak Jnana, which counters Ajnana, Atma Anavabodha. So Agama Vakya Janya. What is born out of Agama Vakya? Sakshatkara. That is the Lakshana. So Agamikam is Samyak Jnanam, which is Vakyajanyam, Vedanta Vakyajanyam, Agama Vakyajanyam, and what is the Lakshana, what is the Swarupa of that Jnana? Aparoksha Jnana. Aparoksha Jnana is what? Also called as Pratyaksha, Aparoksha, Pratyaksha, Sakshatkara, Anubhava, Anubhuti. All of these are interchangeable words. That is Atma Sakshatkara, Atma Sakshatkara, Atmana Sakshatkara, Lakshanam, Yasya Samyak Jnanasya. Tat Samyak Jnanam is what? Agama, the Atma Sakshatkara Lakshanam. And further, Anumanancha. What Anumana? Anumana, which is called as Manana in the Shastra, which is Shastra Anugrahit. Vedanta Vakya, Upanishads also use Anumana, called as Upapatti. So, for Tatparya Nishya, you need Tarka. For not only for Tatparya Nishya, but also to understand something where the Buddhi questions. If you have Shraddha in the Shastra, fine. But Shraddha cannot be, if Shraddha, just Shraddha won't do if the Buddhi is questioning. How can it be possible? So then you have to answer that. Oh, I have Shraddha. No, because Shruti says it. Because Shruti says it, if that is the Shraddha, Buddhi will never question. It is an understanding. Jnana is not blind faith. Jnana is understanding. And in understanding, you have to question. Shruti does not say you do not question. Shruti says this is a fact. If you do not understand it, you question. And I'll answer. And therefore, Shruti gives what? It gives Tarka also. Upapatti. Anumana. So, Anumanancha. What Anumana? Shruti gives is Upapatti. Yat pranena praniti. So, here the Vakya given is Yat pranena, but there is no such Vakya. There is Yaha pranena. So, Napunsakalinga has been used. Can discount it. Yaha Pullinga is the mantra there. So, therefore, there is Tippana there. The Tippana says Yat pranena praniti iti Vakyam Upanishadsu na drishyate. There is no such Vakya seen in the Upanishad, but what? Kintu Yah pranena praniti. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, there is iti shruti. This shruti is there. Iti shruti. What is that? Yaf pranena praniti. So just pullinga, napunsakalinga, bheda is there. We can discount that. For example, Bhagavan Bhashyakara quotes elsewhere. The Vakya is Brahmavit Brahmaiva Bhavati. So Brahmavit Shabda, that is not found in the existent Upanishads today, which are available. We don't find that Vakya. The Vakya found is Brahma Veda Brahmaiva Bhavati. But the Sampradaya is such that there is no typo. We don't consider such things as typo. Bhagavan Bhashyakara may have seen some Shruti, heard some Shruti, which we don't have accessible right now. Therefore, in the footnote or in brackets, you quote the Shruti which is found, which is very near Brahma Veda. But you don't change the Bhashya words as Brahma with, oh no, it should be Brahma Veda. We know very little. In the vast set of Upanishads and such knowledge, such texts which are available today, we have to say text because Karna Sampradaya is almost lost, at least in Upanishads and large part of Vedas. Swashakha also completely, many people do not, why many? Very few study. So let alone having it Kantastha. So anyway, that is why we know almost, we can say we know next to nothing of these vast sources. Therefore, we have no authority to correct or, say that this is how the Vakya should have been. We can say that this makes sense to us now. This is traceable. Therefore, we don't change the words. So here also the same, same Shraddha, the publisher has not changed these words. Yat pranena is found in the manuscript. So it is held like that. But the mantra is Yaha pranena praniti. That which, prana, actually, jiva is one who holds the prana. So here prana, yena pranena praniti, that which lives on or gets its satta, due to which that is Brahma. So such mantras are there which are used as basis to establish satta and bhana and everything that goes along with that ananda. Entire life is living is what its existence. All that is due to which that is Brahma. So such lakshanas are used, such tarkas are used. Yena va pashyati ityadyasti. Yena va pashyati. So that due to which one sees. Yena hetuna. Yena hetuna brahmana atmana hetuna pashyati. One is able to see. The indriyas are able to function as indriyas due to which. It is all upalakshana. Some sampling is quoted. So these kind of anumanas are used by the Shruti. इत्यादि अस्ति तद विषयत्व निरास आशंका अपनोदाय आह. So such examples are available, and since they are available, therefore what you have to take this agamikam in consideration. Agamikam is only available from Shruti Pramana. Therefore he says what? Anagamikam. Anagamika, Anumana, Anagamika, Pratyaksha ityadi won't work. We have seen in the last pata, Anumana also has basis as Pratyaksha for it. So without Pratyaksha, Anumana won't work. So to infer fire, you need to have Pratyaksha, direct perception of smoke, which becomes the Hetu. Therefore, just Anumana won't work. If Pratyaksha does not work, it means that Anumana also will not work. Something should be pratyaksha on which you can infer. So there is no linga available. Dhuma is linga for vanni. So that is not available in the case of Atma. But anyway, Sukshma Sharira is called as Linga Sharira because it is an indicator to Atma. But it is not without the basis of Shruti. So somebody may question, Sukshma Sharira is called as Linga Sharira, and why is it called as Linga Sharira? Your own Vedanta Granthas, Prakarana Granthas explain that it is a Linga to know the Atma. Same thing. Pranena Praniti, Yenava Pashyati, Indriyas, Sukshma Sharira becomes an indicator to infer Atma Swarupa indirectly. But that is also how do you land on it? That is also with the basis of Shruti. Shruti explains it that you can use as linga. So Shruti itself will call it as linga sharira. So it is not without Shruti that you can land on Atma Swarupa. Atma you can land on as Sharira Vyatirikta, but you cannot land on its Swarupa as Advaita Swarupa. Advitiya Atma you cannot land on. Some yogis may claim, without Shruti I have landed on it. Yes, you have landed on an individualized Atma. But Atma is not individualized at all. That will not lead to moksha. It is ekameva dvitiya Atma. Therefore, the aikya with Ishvara has to be done. Jagatkarta. With the prapancha you have to resolve. Prapancha remaining as Satya and you remaining as Satya, multiple Satyas won't work. Anyway, so based on this also you cannot use independent tarka. Shushka tarka is not pramana. But Shruti Anugrahita Tarka is Pramana which lands you into Advaita. Therefore, Tadvishayatva Nirasa Ashanka Apanodaya. Therefore, Bhagwan Sureshwara Acharya said Anagamikam. Anagamika Tarka Anumana won't work. Laukika Pramana Pratyakshadi. Which are those Pramanas? Anagamika. So Kani Tanityaha Laukika Pramaniti. So Laukika Pramana, I said Laukika Pramanas. Pratyakshadi Laukika Pramanas. Tesham cha atma na vishayah. Atma is not subject to scrutiny by indriyas also, by direct perception. It is not the karma of indriyas. Indriya vishaya means it is not available for access to be objectified by indriyas. Neither is it a subject matter for analysis by anumana. So you cannot use Atma as the Vishaya and analyze it also. based on Shushka Tarka. It can be done only with Shruti as basis. Of course, you need, for Laukika Anubhava, all that Anumana will work. Why my Anubhava of Sukha is not Nitya? Is it Nitya or not? For all that, Anubhava is Pramana. Definitely you can use it. You can analyze your Pariksha Lokan. Shruti itself says, you come to the Shruti approaching the Guru for Atmajnana only because one is dissatisfied with the experiences that one has had. Pariksha Lokan Karmachitan. Karmachitan Karmajanyan. Pariksha Lokan Lokyanteti Lokaha. Anubhavaha. So, Lokan Anubhavan Pariksha. Having analyzed, having questioned, having thought upon and inquired on all the experiences that we have so far. And not only ours, you can, look at others also. You can learn from others' experiences also, which we hanker after. Oh, that person has really a good life. That person knows how good a life he has or she has. That person knows. You can't know. It is just, the grass is greener on the other side. So you look at that, learn something, experience some things. You have enough experiences at a, at a middle stage of life, or, some will get it with samskara and childhood itself. So this is not leading to happiness. Even if it is giving happiness, it is not lasting. Let alone nitya, it is not even long lasting. Let it be, let it be known that it is impermanent. It cannot be permanent. So that much we can analyze with our own experiences. Their Shruti is not needed at all, because we know, everyone knows. It is Vyabhichari. All the Sukha that we get are Vyabhichari, and that's why, earlier we have seen Avyabhichari Vishaye Vyabhicharitvam. The Anubhava varies with the Vishaya not varying across people and across my own experiences, across days, across, stages of life. Same day also. I like the Vishaya in the morning, evening I don't like it. So, Pariksha Lokan, Karmachitan, these are all Karmajanya Anubhavas. I do something because I know that I'll get this result. I may get this result. There's a good likelihood that I'll get this result. But it doesn't last. So, Pariksha Lokan, Karmachitan, Karmajanyan, Brahmano Nirvedam Ayat. So, one who has analyzed this, he'll get what? Vairagya. Nirvedam is Vairagya. Nirvedam Ayat. He'll get Nirveda means he will get Vairagya. One gets Vairagya analyzing one's own experiences. If one is neutral, it's troubling. And then Karmachitan Brahmano Nirvedam Ayat. Parikshalokan Karmachitan Brahmano Nirvedam Ayat. So Gurumeva Vigachet. Samit Pani. Then he has to go to the Guru with a Seva Bhava to get Jnana. Atma Jnana. Then what should the Guru do? All that the Mundaka Mantra says. Mundaka Upanishad. So there is no independent inquiry possible. One has to know from Sampradaya, from someone who has analyzed, learned from the Sampradaya itself, and then do the same. So one will not go wrong. One will not conclude wrongly and assume that all is okay. All will be okay. It won't be. Today it looks okay, but without moksha, without the Sharira Nivritti, Janma Nivritti, Sukha Dukha Nivritti, Sukha also is binding. So Ajnana Nivritti does not take place, then everything that the chain that follows leading to Dukkha won't go away. The chain won't go away. There will be Dukkha. We have seen all this. So now, Tesham cha Atma na Vishaya. Tesham Laukika Pramananam. Laukika Pramananam Atma Vishaya na Bhavati. Why? You have to give hetu just by saying, no, I can see Atma. Somebody, my Guru has seen Atma. Somebody may say, oh, my Guru has Atma as Pratyaksha. How? Pratyaksha good. Sakshatkara. No. He has seen. He has seen Atma. How can he see Atma? Rupa di abhavat. Rupa is lacking. Indriyas can see something which has Rupa. He has heard Atma. How can he hear Atma? Shabda bhavat. So rupadi, adipadena. So rupa, shabda sparsha, rupa rasa gandha. None of these is there. None of these is there in Atma. How can it be Indriya Pratyaksha? Indriya cannot see, Chakshur Indriya cannot see anything without Rupa. It sees Rupa. Rupa itself you see and then you say Ghata I am seeing. You see Ghata Rupa. You don't see Ghata. You see Ghata Rupa. Ghata Rupa, Ghata Akara, Ghata the color, the texture, all this is what Rupa. Ghata Rupa is seen by the Chakshur Indriya. You say I see the pot. You are seeing the guna of the pot. Of course, we'll say guna guni no abheda. We don't say that guna is different from the pot. The rupa of the pot belongs to the pot itself, meaning it is the pot. It is not separate from the pot. That's what we say, abheda. So, anyway, Atma cannot be pratyaksha because it does not have rupa ityadi. Rupadi abhavat. Tat sambandha lingadi adarshanacha. And you don't see tat sambandha, atma sambandha linga. Something which will lead to inference. Like the smoke is linga for Vanni. How? With Vanni Sambandha. Lingadi Adarshanacha. Since there is no linga seen, Atma, how you infer Atma? This is how you infer Atma. There is nothing seen. Because something is happening, therefore Atma is there. You cannot know. But Shruti tells you what is the Swarupa of Atma. See, you know Satta, you exist. But you don't know that this Satta is, you don't know clearly that this Satta is yours. How? You may know that I am existent, but you know that the other is also existent, the other things and the entire Ghatapata, the Prapancha, other people, other pranis, all these are existent. And Shruti talks about, or Puranas, all these kathas, they talk about something else we have not seen. So you're not gone to a particular country, somebody talks about that country, it's a beautiful country. You trust the person with Aptavakya, Shabda Pramana, you say, yes, there is some place like this. I have not gone, but my friend has gone. That person has seen. I agree. So there is a Satta there also, which you have not seen. But there is Satta there. So when you know that you are existent, what do you not know is that is your Lakshana. Lakshana meaning what? It is your Swarupa. And what is the Swarupa of Atma? If Sat is the Swarupa of Atma, what does it mean? It means that every Satta is Atma Satta, my Satta. That we don't know, that we cannot land on. Just because I am existent, so the other person claims that that person is existent, something else is existent. How do I know that because I am existent, every existence belongs to me? That is my satta. That I do not know. For that, Shruti has to help us out. Therefore, there is no linga. Shruti says that Sat is your Sarupa. Sat is your Sarupa. Then you can inquire. So lingadi adarshanacha. So wherever you see satta, that is your satta. Shruti will give, pramana for that as with an example. Swapnavat. Like Swapna Padartha. Swapna Padarthas are your satta. Similarly, Prapancha, Jagrat Prapancha, Padarthas are your satta. They have your satta. Therefore, Tat Sambandha Lingadi Adarshanacha, we cannot independently land on Atma. So there is no other way to get Samyak Jnana except for Agama. Tad evam ananya sadharanatvad Upanishadam eva Atma Vishaya Ityaha. Since there is no way that I can objectify Atma through Indriyas and know them, know Atma, know through them, nor can I have Linga for basing my Anumana on the Pratyaksha, Indriya Pratyakshatvam, Nasti. So Anumana api na sambhavati. Therefore, tad evam, this being the case, in this manner, ananya sadharanatvad, there is no, sadharana access to it. Ananya. Anya sadharana is not there. Therefore, just like other case, where, for example, Chakshurindriya, with Chakshurindriya, I can know the Ghata. But I can know Ghata with Sparsha also. With Sparsha also, I can touch a pot. If I know the pot, I can close my eyes, not see the pot. And in darkness, even if I open my eyes, but since there's no enough light to know that there is a pot, I can touch and see what it is. That's what we do. We don't stumble upon something. So you move your hand around, you feel the pot. With sparsha, you can make out. So sadharana taya, you can know pot through chakshurindriya also and through sparsha also. But you cannot know atma like that. It's ananya sadharana. So if it is ananya sadharana, therefore Upanishad tam eva atma vishaya. Atma is vishaya of Upanishad, meaning only Upanishad can reveal Atma. And Upanishad meaning what? Upanishad based granthas also, which are derivative works, secondary works, for those who do not have access to Upanishads, adhikara in understanding, studying Upanishads. So Vedanta, directly Upanishad study is possible. Adhikaritvam is for person who has done Veda Dhyana. And Veda Dhyana needs Upanayana ityadi samskara. So Shruti says that Traivarnikanam adhikara. So Dharma Shastra says that. So Traivarnika who have Upanayana samskara through Vedas, they'll get adhikara in Upanishad study. Then what about others? There are many others who have, have no Upanayana samskara, whether Traivarnika or not. Still, they can get moksha because moksha is through jnana. Jnana will come from Upanishads, but not necessarily directly through Upanishads. Prakarana granthas are there, Smriti granthas are there, Puranas are there. Therefore, all these are giving the same jnana which is there in Upanishad also. Upanishadam eva atma means what? Atma is Upanishad, Vishaya for Upanishad, but that Upanishadic process is there in Smriti also. What is revealed, the Mahavakya, the way it is revealed, it is there in Gita Idyadi, Smriti Granthas also, Purana, Itihasa, Prakarana Granthas like this. Therefore, with Upanishad as primary Pramana and all the secondary works based on Upanishads are the only sources for which Atma is Vishaya. Therefore, aha iti aha Vedanta iti. Therefore, he said what? Vedantana. In the next page, we had seen Unmula Vedanta Agama Vakyadeva Samyak Jnanam. Samyak Jnana can come only from Vedanta Vakya. Vedanta is Agama, and the Agama, in Agama is a broad term for Vedas. In that Vedanta is Vedanam Anta, Nishchaya. Nishchaya Rupa Anta, not just in the end, because Ishasya Upanishad is in the Samhita Pata, Mantra Bhaga. So Nishchaya of Atma is done there. Then Agama Grahanancha, why Agama has been mentioned specifically there? Agama Grahanancha Vedoshara Vedanta iti Mata Nirasena Pramanya Suchanaya. Agamas are Pramana, all right, but Shruti is divided into two, Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda. And Karma Kandi say that Vedanta is not Pramana. Upanishads are not Pramana independently. They say they are dependent on the Karma Kanda. So what do Upanishads reveal? Upanishads reveal Atma, all right. But all that is Arthavada, say the Purva Mimamsakas, Karma Kandis. They say the Karta who does karma. Without that karta, karma is not possible. So karta is a very important karaka in karma. So without karta, karma cannot take place. And karma has to be done. Therefore, the karta stuti is done. Karta is praised. Where? In Upanishads. Tattvamasi, you are Brahma. All these praises are there. Atma, the praise of Atma is to know the karta. And this karta is dependent, meaning the not karta is dependent, but the karta revelation which is there, this karta is anga to the karma. Main anga, karaka, but karma kanda, the karma needs a karta. Therefore, the karma being main there, Veda reveals this karma. Who can do it? Adhikari. That adhikari is the karta. That karta is revealed in the Upanishads. What is the swarupa? Who is really, but he is a karta. That jiva is a karta. He is without the sharira. Why without the sharira? Right now he has sharira, but when the swargadi phala accrues, that phala cannot be enjoyed with this sharira. Therefore, this karta has to be separate from the sharira to become a bhokta. Right now he is a karta, but he has to become a bhokta in swarga. Therefore, the atma, jivatma, which is separate from the body, is acceptable, but it is kartru, bhoktru swarupa, karta. Karta and bhokta, this is the kartrutva, bhoktrutva is the swarupa of this jivatma, who right now is karta and will become bhokta. With sharira, without sharira, another sharira. Without this particular sharira also, this karta can become bhokta later, and that is the jivatma, which is praised in the Upanishads, and it becomes anga for karma. So it is a karma kanda. The vakya has a dependency. Upanishad vakyas have dependency on karma kanda vakyas to understand. They are a single unit, say the Purvamimamsakas. Otherwise, they are futile. They are independently, Vedanta Vakyas are useless, say the Karma Kandis. That is the meaning here. Agama Grahanancha. Why Agama word has been given is because Vedoshara Vedanta iti mata nirasena pramanya suchana hai. Vedantas are also independent pramana, just like Karma Kanda Vakyas. Vedanta Vakyas are independent pramana. Swarthe pramana musti. Brahma Sutra analysis lands on what? Swarthe pramanya musti. Vedanta Vakyanam Swarthe. Swarthe means swasmin arte, in their own meaning. They are not dependent on something else. They are committed to reveal Atma, and that is all. There is nothing more. There is no dependency on the Karma Kanda. They don't connect to Karma Kanda at all. The only connection is Karma Kanda gives Chitta Shuddhi, whereby you can understand Vedanta. That is all the use of Karma Kanda is. That is the connection. Parampara connection. There is no connection other way around as to Vedanta will help you do karma. It is not. Vedanta says that you are akarta. How can you do karma? Therefore, pramanya suchanaya. Vedoshara Vedanta. Ushara Marubhumi. So, we have lot of, in India there are some beautiful places where you can, agriculturists will say that you can, a lot of greenery is there. And then there are some parts where you cannot grow anything. They may be beautiful places, but you cannot grow anything. You cannot survive easily there without, any source of food. So, all desert land. So here he says, Vedoshara Vedanta. Veda is very amazing. But then there is some, desert area in Vedas. What is that? Vedanta. Not useful. So, desert area, all this Ushara. So, there's a tippana here. So, Vedoshara, Ushara is what? Marustalam. Marubhumi. So, like Marubhumi, so, very dry. Vedanta is all dry. Keep on, parroting something. What is it? What is the use? How do people ask questions like this. Gita for management, all these. Can I, become a better manager if I understand Gita and Upanishads? You may, I don't know, but that is not the purpose. If you want to go and, give management talks and quote something, I know Gita also, I know Upanishads also. This is what the Vedas say and all that. You can impress. Perhaps you can become a better manager that way. We don't know. That is so. Where there is a possibility and there is not a possibility also, that is not the Tatparya. The Tatparya is Atma Jnana Moksha. So it is not for management to live a better life. There are many people who say, how can I use Vedanta to make my life better? Your life can never become better. Vedanta will ask you to quit your lifestyle. It will ask you to switch from that and give up that life. In a sense, give up living as a samsari. Become an asamsari. Life is samsara. You want to live. How can I get better janma? That is not the focus of whether, lifestyle improvement, life improvement is not the goal of Vedanta. Of course, there's a side effect. to become a sadhu, uh, learning dharma. In Karma Kanda, if it is not learned, then Vedanta will say, you need all this. So, for example, Vedanta parts in Lalita Sahasranama, Maitradi Vasana Labhya. So, Maitri is a good guna to have. Upanishads, Bhagavan Gita Acharya will say, so many gunas he talks about. So, all those gunas, listing of gunas after gunas. So, Viveka, Vairagya, all these are basis for Upanishad. Amanitvam, Adambitvam, ityadi, Bhagavan Gita Acharya will talk about. So, all that can apply and you can, make your life better. It will not make your, it will not even make you a better samsari. It should not. I mean, who is a better samsari? There is no better samsari and a worse samsari. Samsari is a samsari. Lock, stock, barrel. Therefore, this marusthala that you think of, because it will not help you become a better manager, modern interpretation, it is not useful for karma. That is the meaning here. Vaidika karma. Now we can say Laukika karma also. Vedanta is not useful there. Tatha eva Vedantasya vyarthatvam iti bhava. Of course, I mean, someone can say, for livelihood, udara nimittam, start teaching, start, courses, charge fees, give talks, retreats, all that. That is possible, but that is not Vedanta. Anyway, tatha eva Vedantasya vyarthatvam iti bhavaha, in what? Vedoshara Vedanta, in that vakya. And Nirakarana is done by saying that, no, agama, meaning pramana. Therefore, what? Agama grahanancha Vedoshara Vedanta iti mata nirasena. That mata is wrong by saying that, because agama means it is Shruti pramana. Therefore, mata nirasena tadwara. With the mata nirasa as dwara, pramanya suchana hai. Kasya Vedantanam. Kesham Vedantanam. Vedanta vakyanam pramanya suchanaya. Vakya grahanancha. Then why did he say vakya? So he said Vedanta, Agama. So Vedanta also, Vedanta would have been sufficient. Why Agama was said? This is a Padakritya I was telling you. Every word is important here. Vedanta Upanishad, okay. But why add Agama? Vedanta is Agama, we know. No, Agama is seen as Pramana by the Karmakandi. So Agamatvam will show him Pramanyatvam. Therefore, not only Vedanta, but Vedanta is Agama. Being Veda Agama, it is Shabda Pramana. Okay, why say Vakya? Vakya Deva. So this the Tikakara says, Vakya, why did he say? Vakya Grahanancha. Na karma Vakya Sheshataya Tatra Eka Vakyatvam Kintu Swatantrataya Eva iti Jyotanaya. Vedanta is Pramana, is said in the earlier part, and I explained there itself that Swatantrena. Swarte Pramanam. Swatantrataya. Swatantrena Pramanyam. Independently, they are pramana. Whatever they say is at face value, as is. You cannot just add words there and, oh, this does not make sense, we'll add a nai. So if you say tattvamasi, you'll say, no, atattvamasi. Dvaitis do that because it does not make sense to us. We have already concluded that we are not Paramatma. We are separate from Paramatma. Then if Shruti says that you are Paramatma, then what should we do? We should change the Shruti. That is their thinking. If it says Tattvamasi, Tat Brahma, that Brahma you are, then what should we do? Atattvamasi. Somehow, with Vyakarana, with some Padacheda, or with some, some kind of addition, Adhyahara, bring Anurti from somewhere, or what? Give up Shruti and bring some Purana. That also is questionable. Bring Purana, some Vakya randomly from somewhere, from Shruti or from Purana, and then reinterpret this. There is no Tatparya Nishchaya. All that should be avoided. So, Swatantrataya eva Pramana. The way the Shruti says, you have to do Tatparya Nishchaya with Shadlinga, and then conclude as to what Shruti is trying to say. Pramana Samshaya should go away. Then Pramanya Samshaya should go away. Prameya. Not Pramanya, sorry. Prameya Samshaya. Pramana Samshaya will go away in Shravana. Prameya Samshaya will go away in Manana. And then Nididhyasana takes away Viparita Bhavana, where you think, no, I feel I am different. I am independent. I am individualized. All this will go away by Nididhyasana, Punah Abhyasa. So Shravana takes away what is the pramana. Shruti alone is pramana. Prameya means what? The aikya between Brahma and me, that is the Shruti Tatparya, but I don't think it is talking about me. Somebody else is Mukta. Okay, I am not Mukta. So it is not talking about me. That Pramaya Samshaya should go away. That will go with Manana. How I am the Vishaya. Atma is Vishaya means I am the Vishaya, not someone else, not some Atma somewhere else. I am the Vishaya. So that Pramaya Samshaya should go away. It goes away by Manana. So here Vakya Grahanancha na Karma Vakya Sheshataya. Vakya Shesha means what? There is dependency of another statement to make this statement complete. Vedanta. Vedanta Vakya has dependency on Karma Vakya to make it complete. Kartrutva, it shows you are a Karta. Karta is associated with the Karma in the Karma Kanda. So you, the Karta who is revealed in the Vedanta Vakya, that has dependency there. This is the claim made. To counter that, we say Vakya. This Vakya means it's a Vakya Pramana. Pura Mimamsa uses this Paribhashika Shabda. Vakya is a Pramana, a particular kind of Pramana, Vakya. So Karma Vakya Sheshataya na Tatra Ekavakyatvam. The Ekavakyatvam is not there between Vedanta Vakya and Karma Kanda Vakya. There is no Ekavakyata. They are not connected as Anga Angi. Vedanta is not subsidiary to Karma. Or other way around also. Kintu Swatantrataya eva iti Dyotanaya. Independently, Vedanta Vakya is Pramana. That therefore Vakya word has been used. Then eva has been added further. Vedanta Agama Vakya. Then why eva also? Eva Samyak Jnanam. To remove all other possibilities. So here it is said, Vakya evakarascha Vakya abhasadehe jnana karanatva nirasaya. Evakara. Why Evakara is there? Because Vakya Abhasa, etc. are taken away. Vedanta Vakya Deva, Natu Vakya Abhasad. Appears like a Vakya, appears like a Pramana. So Jnana Karanatvam Vakyasya, Natu Vakya Abhasasya. That is the idea. What appears like a Abhasa. So here there is a Tippana 3 and 4. Let's see what it's. So Tattvamasyadi Mahavakya Dyotana iti Bhava. Vakya means which Vakya is independent Pramana? Mahavakya. Tattvasya ityadi. That is Vakyad. What about this Vakya Abhasa? What is Vakya Abhasa? Adipadena. Here Adipada, Vakya Abhasa Adehe. What is that Adipada? Here he says Adipadena Yuktya Abhasaha. What is Vakya Abhasa? Mithya Vakyam Shrutehe Kadarthova. Kadartha, Kutsitartha. So Mithya Vakyam. Shruti is giving a Mithya Vakya. That is the Vakya Abhasa. And Adipadena Yuktya Abhasa. What is Yuktya Abhasa? Tatahi. Here, first Vakya Abhasa is given here. What is Vakya Abhasa? Tatahi Asadva idam agra asit. So Mithya Vakyam. Shrutehe Kadarthova. Kutsitartha. Independently you analyze Shruti, use Vyakarana or pick randomly and then say this is what it says, or go through translation. There are many people say, they bring up some new Vyakarana also. Hey, Pandini is not the only Vyakarana. We'll use our own Vyakarana. It's not Vyakarana also. Something they'll say, bring Hindi and explain Sanskrit in Hindi because it appears like Hindi to them. It is not Hindi, it is Sanskritam. Vyakarana is Pramana there. You have to understand the Dhatu meaning there. You have to understand if the meaning is not fitting, you have to understand from the Sampradaya, through the context, Purva Mimamsa, etc. So much is there. But independently, Bauddhas, for example, they say Asadva idam agra asit iti Shruti Vakyam Bauddhaha Asadvada Samartakatvena yat yojayanti tad Vakya Bhasaha. An example is given. Chandogya says Asadva idam agra asit. There Asat means what? It is not Shunya. Asat means unmanifest. Before the Prapancha was manifest, created, so to say, it was in unmanifest form. And what is it before? In each cycle, in each kalpa, when the kalpa begins from avyakta, it becomes vyakta. That is the meaning of asad there. So how can you just use that randomly and say that, oh, Shruti is talking about Shunyavada? Bauddhas do not have any Shraddha in Shruti. They don't consider it as Pramana, Vedas. They are Nastikas. But to counter you, they'll say your Shruti itself says. Only that part. That's all. What comes up later, that will not be. Or how Asat can be the Karana. Another mantra, similar mantra, says what? How can Asat be Karana? Or it says some say this. Kechidahu, Kechana ahu. Such statements are there. And Shruti itself does Nirakarana. It is not possible. Asade, in Taittiriya it will say, Asanneva sa bhavati. One who says Brahma nasti, nasti Brahma cheda veda. One who knows or says that Brahma is not there. What does it mean? Shruti is saying Brahma is you. You are Brahma. And when you say no, Brahma is not there, it means I am not there. So who talks to us? Bauddhas are saying I am not there. That's what they are saying. I am not there, but you listen to me. My philosophy is Shunya, Shunyavada. But I am not there. So who is talking? It is equivalent to that. That is Kadartha. What do you say? Mama mukhe jivha nasti. Has no basis. This statement has no basis. Mama mukhe jivha nasti. In my mouth there is no tongue. Without the tongue, how can you speak? And what is the statement? There is no tongue. It is contradictory. It's a asad vakya, mithya vakya, vakya bhasa. So here, that is a Shruti statement misinterpreted, kadartha, kutsitartha, that is called as vakya bhasa. What is yuktya bhasa? Yuktya bhasa api tathaiva yad vastu tat shunya avasanam yatha deepaha. So Buddha say that whatever vastu, what do we say? We say vasati iti vastu. What exists is vastu. So vastu, primary meaning is Brahmatma only. What exists is only Atma, that is vastu. But any vastu, we say, this vastu, that vastu, Ghadapatadi vastu. Asti, that vastu, vasati iti vastu. They'll say, yad vastu tat shunya avasanam. What is vastu? Whatever you think is vastu, that ends in shunya. It began with shunya, it will end with shunya. Yatha deepa, he said, deepa, gave the example. The lamp is burning and it will burn away. Similarly, all these, the vastus will go away. Anyway, we'll just flip the page and stop. Therefore, Mulakara said, Vedanta Vakya, Vedanta Agama Vakya Deva Samyak Jnanam. So the introduction there is Idanim to the last Vakya in the Mula. Sureshwaracharya Bhagavan says, he gives a Sangati, Sambandhokti to the Prathama Shloka. So idanim prakarana lakshanam upapadayan prakarana arambham upapaditam upasamharati atha asheshe iti. So idanim, now what the Granthakara is doing, Mulakara, prakarana lakshanam upapadayan. What is prakarana? What is prakarana? So prakarana, he is going to talk about prakaranam. This is a prakarana. This Grantha is prakarana Grantha, meaning focuses on Ekadesha and covers the rest also. We'll see the Lakshana, the Tika will mention in the next part. But here we'll just look at the introduction. Prakarana Lakshanam Upapadayan. Shatranta Pada. While explaining the Lakshana of Prakarana, he is not explaining really. He is expressing. And explanation will be given in the Tika. He is hinting at it. Because he assumes that you already know what Prakarana is. Prakarana Arambham Upapaditam Upasamharati. And Upapaden Upapaditam Upasamharati. He does Upasamhara of what began as a Prakarana. It has already begun, really. Upodghata, but that Upodghata is part of it. He has established it. Upasamharati what? Atha Ashesheti concludes the Upodghata. Ataha Ashesha Vedanta Sara Sangraha Prakaranam Idam Arabhyate. Idam Arabhyate. Atha Arabhyate. Why? Because Adhikari Ityadi Sattvad Anubandaya Chatushtaya Sattvad Ashesha Vedanta Sara. All Vedantas are committed towards only one thing. What is the Sara of that? He says, I am going to talk about that. Sangraha, briefly, Sangraha. Or a collection of Sara of Vedanta. Which Vedanta Vakya is Ashesha. He'll cover the entire spectrum of Vedanta as to what their Sara is. And Sara Sangraha, what that is the Prakarana. And this is hinting, this explaining Vedanta Sara Sangraha, that is Prakarana. Lakshana of Prakarana itself in a different way. Elaborately, it is explained in another shloka, which we'll see in the next part. Idam arabhyate. And then, since all prayojanadi, vishaya, sambandha, and there is an adhikari, therefore, this prakarana has to be begun. And he makes a conclusion of the Upodghata. Tikakara will explain this prakarana, etc. And then in the next part, we'll look at the shloka. Begins with the shloka. And Sambandha Ukti for the shloka, he concluded the Upodghata. Now the Sambandha for the shloka will be given by the Mulakara himself. So Tatra Abhilashita Ityarthi, that is the Sambandha Ukti towards the shloka. So I have mentioned earlier that the Grantha, Naishkarmyasiddhi, Mula itself is what? It is Gadya and Padya mixed. So Padya, the shlokas are there to which the introduction and connection is given by the Mulakara Bhagavan Sureshwaracharya himself, the Gadya Bhaga. That is called as Sambandha Ukti. We'll see in the next part. Yat saksha Satchidanandam Pratyagadhyam Akriyam Tannamami Nirsinhasya Yogi Gamyam Param Padam. Any questions?
Swamiji, what is this Upodghata what you are using?
Okay, namaste. I'll see you in the next part. Dhanyavada.